Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and we're actually 3 rounds in. I've been winning, so I started recording. This is just the Guided Souls Ocelot Pride combo in my Tempo Shell that I've been playing a whole lot. No changes, and we are up against a likely fair gamer. All the previous rounds were combo. So this hand is pretty good. We've got interaction a little bit, and we have selection, and we've got mana. All right, Shadowy Backstreet. They are on Yorion here, so it's most likely just the scary Yorion deck. This is not a good matchup, but should I somehow prevail, I want to capture it on film. I've been getting very close to getting trophies for the past week or two, and I just would really like to get one. All right, so I'm not going to fear the Wasteland. Well, no, I'm definitely not going to. I think the simple thing to do is just play this Ocelot Pride and see. If they just play like a 2-drop that I can daze, then I can get an attack in and start going up with it. We're supposed to be playing control, but we can't play control against this deck. We have to be aggro because they have a better end game than we do. So they just have a plow here. That dream is dead. Actually, this is pretty catastrophic because I don't have any other island. This is my only basic, so I'm not going to let this resolve. Okay, this does mean I'm going to get to connect here. Oh my goodness. Drawing so many freaking lands. Well, what I'm going to do, I think, is I just attack. And I should ponder here. It's a responsible thing to do. And I'm looking for a force. If I can just stall them out for a little while, I should be good. I don't think these are good enough. I want specifically force. Mockingbird probably doesn't do anything against their deck. I don't think their cards will line up with what I'm trying to do. I'm going to shuffle this. Okay, Giver is not atrocious, but it's not very good. So we do get a dude. We've already gotten value out of this thing. But I think it's very likely that they kill it this turn cycle. Stoneforge is fine. I could just plow that and keep attacking. They could get pre-war. Yeah, that's what they get. Okay, land drop is another ETB tap land. Let's see if they put something scary in the yard that they can bring back. I don't care about White Orchid Phantom. I've got lots of land. So unfortunately, I do need to burn a plow on this to get through and continue building my cat army. Tamiyo might actually be pretty good here. I could brainstorm first. You know what? No, I do need to clear this. I can't Tamiyo and brainstorm in the same turn cycle. I could play her out. There's a very decent chance that they just have an answer to her in the form of and in fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and plow first and attack and then see if they have a Solitude. They might Solitude this. Let's go in for a hug. Okay, options. 1, I could just play this out, take 2. I think I do just play the Tommy. Oh, if I brainstorm this back in, I can get a land. That might be the play. Yeah. I don't want to go down a land. I'm going to play this out. I'll keep the shuffle up for later. Life is not a big deal right here. And then if they bring this back, I will just do that. And then, yeah, that gives me a free shuffle too. Wasteland. Uh-oh. Well, I'm going to brainstorm if they... here it comes. Oh, Skyclave. Let's go ahead and see if we can find a force. Huh. Does it make sense anymore to brainstorm here? I can shuffle one of the cards. I definitely don't want this island in my hand. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And if I find a force, I would like to keep this train going. I didn't, but I found another one. I think Giver is pretty mediocre, but I'm going to redraw stuff. So I'll just do like this. Yeah, I'll just redraw it. That's fine. They're going to hit this. I could Mockingbird it, kill it, and then attack in. Oh, they have it. Aether Vial. That's super late in the game. It might be consequential, though. They are also getting very close to hardcasting Solitude. Because here's the card we don't want to draw. I think just copying this and then attacking is fine, but then if they kill it, they get a 3, a token that's 3, and I don't think doing 2 damage to them is super impactful here. I actually think I probably just play out the Ocelot Pride and the Mockingbird, and Mockingbird can fly, and then they'll need a flyer, but they will have a flyer. So I could play out this Giver runes in addition, And then I have Tamio just like as a... We're going to go... I'm going to go ahead and play the Giver first just to make sure I have something to muck, because there is a world in which I don't. Let's copy that. Now we've got a flying one. Now they basically have to bring back the White Orchid Phantom. And I could just give this pro white and attack through. Brainbuster of a matchup for sure. Okay, they had a White Orchid Phantom from hand. That's fine. So this is a blocker. That's fine. I'll go get my island. Line Sash doesn't matter at all for the purpose of like... I mean, it can exile stuff from my graveyard, but I don't use my graveyard. They don't have good attacks. All right. Force of Will is probably... Okay, let's think about this. So we get pro, then we attack. We get a ton of cats. A ton. And I think we just keep doing that every turn cycle. And if they can't deal with it... I don't think playing out Tamio is correct here, because Force Blue card is pretty good. I'm just going to go ahead and do this. I don't even need to give it to the flying one, but yeah, it doesn't matter. I'll just give it to this one. If they do a trick, I don't want them to kill the... Does that make sense? Pro white. These are all white. And then I'll just attack. We're going to get the City's Blessing. We're going to get a ton of cats. Huh. If I play out Tamio... That means the City's Blessing will trigger twice anyway. Yeah, let's just... Okay, City's Blessing, and then we get a bunch of cats, and then City's Blessing again, and we get a bunch more cats. All right. My opponent's going to have to go super wide. It's just a matter of time before I win at this rate, unless they have an answer to this Giver runes. Recruiter of the Guard. I think I just force this. It gets anything, and it's an additional body that they can blink with Yorion later. They can bring Yorion in. I think they probably just go get Solitude with that. Yeah, they're not attacking or anything. Okay. So the question is, are we ready to start attacking? That's a dud. There's no reason to play this out. Let's preserve the mystery here. I think I just attack with one and I keep going really wide. Oh, I'll just attack with this again. And then I'm going to give pro white. Do you have a plow? No? Okay. Well, I'm going to take a bunch more cats. We'll just alpha strike them in like 2 turns. They don't gain life from this, right? Okay. I don't believe they have a way to gain life. Okay. I think they might be dead this turn. I wish we just show you the number of cats you have so you don't have to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. They're going to bring back the recruiter. I'm not sure what they're going to get here. They have to kill both of our... Oh, they could kill this. If they kill this, I'm just going to start alpha striking them repeatedly, which will not end super well because they're going to get so much value off Yorion. They got a Skyclave. Okay, so they're going to kill one of our dudes. We can still attack in and get some cats. Man, they have quite a board presence. But they're not tapped out because they have Yorion. I'm trying to think of what we could draw here that would be good. Okay, they put Yorion in hand. All right. I mean, I think we probably lost. What would be good? Days, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, Days doesn't work. Yeah, they could just block all this stuff. Don't have a path to victory. I think they're going to be able to put a bunch of stuff in. I think it's extremely unlikely that we get through with enough that they don't recover. Because they blink like literally everything. Like they get a card off this, they blow up one of our lands, they get a card off this. I'll just do it. I'm pretty sure we're dead. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, like they can block everything just 2 turns in a row. They don't have any lifelink though. It's possible we are just doing like the equivalent of like a goblin, whatever it's called. Goblin Warrens, empty the Warrens. At the very least, we're getting back some clock here. I don't think that'll matter. They are blocking those. And they're blocking these. If they block with Lion Sash, it dies, but that may not matter. We gain some life. Okay. They're at 4. We might be able to get through. I want them to get greedy and try to do more than one thing. Then maybe Days might matter. Another Wasteland. Okay, I think it's extremely unlikely that Wasteland matters. They might start taking our lands here. If they take our lands for some reason, Days could be good, but I don't think they'll do that. And we don't have any top decks to get us out of this. They had Caracas, so Tamio wouldn't have been smart here anyway. This has Vigilance. I'll just take it. They should play the Yorion here for sure. It would be a huge mistake not to. Okay, Yorion goes in. Yorion's going to go get like maybe a Solitude, which can gain life. But they can't play it out. They can only pitch cast it. Okay, they are not opting to give us creatures off these. They don't have any non-token creatures to target anyway. Okay, so this comes in. I'll float. They get to search. They can search for Witch Enchanter. I don't know what they have at 4 mana. But they probably will search for something like that. They're getting this White Orchid Phantom back again. They're going to go for this. That's fine. I'll float white here. I am not going to search. Now they know that I only have 1 basic in my deck. They're not doing anything else. We have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know what they got off. Oh, they got Witch Enchanter. I don't think this works. I think we're dead. I'm going to attack with everything. They don't have life gain. F6. Wait, don't F6. Because just in case there's like some sort of opportunity of days. But I think their hand is just Witch Enchanter. So we have all the information. But they don't have any life gain. I don't know if they actually have enough blockers. I think they do. We have 11. We just need to get 4 through. I was so ready to concede this game. Yeah, we did it! Holy cow, what an epic game. Oh my goodness, I did not think that was going to work. But this is what I mean. Like, they are the apex predator. They're at the top of the food chain if the game goes long. Them and like the Karn Forge decks. You have to be aggressive here. So, Prismatic Ending comes in for sure. I think Daze comes out. I think it's terrible, especially on the draw. What do we bring in if we're taking those Dazes out? Consign can hit like triggers, but I don't think it's good. Frankly, they don't have anything to cast. Like, I think this is a trap. Like you dream of like, oh, you Yorion a whole bunch of stuff. Now I'm gonna counter. No, they've still got a giant Yorion on the table, and you know it's don't do that. In my opinion, it's one of those things where you're gonna do it like once in your life, and you're always gonna be chasing that. 守株待兔 or 守株待兔. I can't remember. There's like a Chinese idiom for a time that somebody gets like super lucky, and they like keep thinking, they sit around and wait for that extremely lucky, improbable event to happen again because it just burned itself into their memory as like this, you know, but lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place, right? Okay, so I think we're good to go. I do think Prismatic Ending is good here, even though their curve is pretty high. It's better than Daze. I mean, Daze, we never got to use our Daze. I think on the draw, like on the play, I'm going to put the Dazes back in. But that was like a total upset win. And that was on the draw. Okay, so this is a Tamio hand. We have Force the Protector. I think we keep this on the strength of Tamio backed by Force. Just to, like, we could run away with the game. We have our island, so this is unimpeachable mana. I'm going to keep it. And then I'll just be very selective about what I force. If they play like a tasty 1-drop, we could mock it like a... man. This gives them insight into our hand. They're at 5 cards. I'm going to go ahead and force this. Maybe I force pitch Force. No, there's definitely a scenario where I need this Force. I've got to stick this Tamio. And she has to last. Come on, blue card. I've got like 30 plus blue cards in my deck. Oh. I mean, I think I'm actually going to try to get lucky here. Not recommended. If they play like a Vial, I will force pitching Tamio because Vial unlocks their entire deck. They don't have black mana anymore. I am going to force this. It sucks. It really sucks, but I said I would do it and I mean it. They're down to 3 cards over there. So am I though. Okay, let's play this out. We're going to chill. Just waiting for the land, and then we've got the combo. And we've got interaction as well. Please don't have a land. Oh my goodness. So this is Felia. Unfortunately, we need a land now. That actually is not terrible because that stops Felia. But it does. We're doing nothing. We don't have a land drop anyway. So here comes Felia. Felia is so good. Oh, it's not Felia. Okay. We're probably still screwed. All right. Please play something that my Daze does something to. Vista. Man, what a pity that like they mulled to 5 and they just had tons of land. That's improbable in my humble opinion. I don't think we made a mistake here, but we're definitely feeling it. Yeah, this is a pretty pathetic way to lose, but I do think we played correctly. Yeah, this is brutal. I'm not going to daze or anything. I'm just going to let them take my pride probably. And now they know about the daze, so the daze is worthless. It's a force pitch if we draw our third force. Not our game. I mean, like when I saw them mull that deep, I was like, great. And maybe this just wasn't a keep, but like it certainly felt like a keep. All right, Mockingbird with no targets. We're just going to pass. We have 18 lands, 16 left in the deck, 16 and 48. It's like 1 and 3. And we've taken like 3 hits, but that doesn't mean that it's not like the dice have memory. Okay, there we go. So we're going to hope they don't waste us. And I am just going to guide and then mock. And if they have the plow, it will suck, but I don't have a choice. I think it's highly likely they have a plow or a solitude here. But if they are solituding, at least we're getting the solitude out of their hand. Yeah, there we go. So Mockingbird does nothing here. Okay. I mean, it's literally just like a 1/1 chump blocker. It's terrible. But sometimes our opponents make the mistake of like killing it, like aiming a plow or something at it. But like, please kill my Mockingbird. Please give me the 1-for-1. I mean, this sucks. We lose a land. I'm not going to give up. Our opponent has 2 lands. Oh, I could have freaking dazed. That was a punt. Sorry, my excellent friends. It wouldn't have countered the spell, but it would have saved our land. Yeah, that was absolutely a punt. Sorry. I'm going to just brainstorm. And if I'm brainstorm locked, I'll just concede. I'm not brainstorm locked. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I mean, this is like pretty nutty brainstorm. I'm going to put away daze for sure. I have to put away... I think we put away plow. They're very close to just getting Yorion and Cat. I think in order to win from here, we need to be aggressive because Yorion is coming down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to guide now and I'm going to Ocelot. No guts, no glory. And maybe I should have kept the plow because the plow could have allowed us to continue to gain life in the face of this, flying first striker. If they just have a land, I think the game's basically over. Because Yorion is massive. They're coming across. No, they're playing a defensive. Okay. I respect that. Got the plow anyway. So lucky. All right. Well, I'm just going to play this. This will trigger. We gained a life. Now I'm going to play this. Gain some more life. Okay. We're going to go wide here. Just like last game. It worked last game. Man, we should not be in this game, though. Like, that punt was so atrocious. Okay, this is a Bowmaster, unfortunately. So we're not going to get the triggers. We did get the guide trigger. Bowmaster doesn't hurt our deck that badly from here. It does shut off Tomio value. Okay, they have another one. I don't think you take a land out of your deck there because a 5th land is like so devastating for me. You want to maximize the number of lands in your deck. If you don't need the mana, don't fetch. Yeah, that's fine. That's a great dead card for them to have at this point. Like, by the time this matters, the game should already be decided, even if it's not over. Okay, so options. I don't want this on the table anymore because of Yorion. This is also a pain, though, but we can answer both. I'm going to just execute this with the ending because it's possible there's like a higher curve card that I have to kill later. And I'm going to go ahead and attack with the guide. I could just attack in the air and they can't attack back. I have tons of life though. I think I attack and force them to double block. I mean, they could have a second Bowmaster. I'm just going to do it like this. I'll potentially plow one of those next turn. Next turn I can do like a combat trick where I attack and then I plow one of them so that I kill them both and I keep my guide. Or we got a clue. We could still find another Ocelot Pride. Okay, they did have something here. All right, I don't know what they're going to bounce. They're probably going to do this, and then they can ping this and grow this. Scary. They could also just go after our clue. Overlord. I think over game over, is more like it. They're going to get so much value here. We have plenty. Actually, I'm going to concede just due to clock. So what they do is they do that trigger, and then they get to attack and flip it, and then they've got a 5/5. We're not going to come back. And this is what I mean. Like, you just don't win games that go long. So Daze comes in. Prismatic Ending was fine, but not necessarily necessary. Yeah, I'm going to take it out. Like, white mana, we're choked on white mana. They're going after our lands like crazy. And you might be asking, why don't you have a basic plains in the deck? Well, we only have 18 land because we don't want to get flooded. And believe me, that comes up all the time. You don't have to believe me. You can choose to ignore what I'm saying and just play janky mana base where you get flooded all the time. I wonder why you're getting flooded. But when your deck is almost completely one drops, play fewer lands. Don't just use the hypergeometric to see your odds of finding lands. Use the hypergeometric to find your odds of getting flooded. And then you'll start considering playing 18 land. I think in like blue-black, it's right to play 19, but not in this deck. And I have played it in the past, and I think it's better now, even though there is this vulnerability against decks that play tons of basic destruction. So I think getting Tommy out and flipping her is a viable strategy. I also think just turn one guide is fine. But since we have 2 Tamio, I'm going to go ahead and open with Tamio, and I'm going to leave the basic in my deck. I think I should. I'll just shock this, and we're going to play out the ban girl, the banner of ban me. Once she gets banned, this deck will be way better, by the way. I just want to be clear. I'm playing with her grudgingly. I don't want to play with her. Okay, please plow her. This is your window to plow her before I can brainstorm. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be brainstorming. Maybe they brainstorm, or maybe they plow with the brainstorm on the stack, but that's a mistake because they just left me with a clue. All right, let's go ahead and brainstorm here. They could have, what's it called in their hand? Now they may do it. Yeah, Solitude. So we got a 2-for-1 here. That's fine. Wait, if I target, I think I'm going to be mean. They target. Okay, so they have to sacrifice it. Then its ability. They stacked weird. Okay, so now I'll just brainstorm again. And this kind of sucks in the sense that we're getting imperfect brainstorms, but we are going to flip her because we haven't drawn our 3rd card yet. Let's see if we can get an oof in chat from Shiromi, or if they just have a plow as well. They do. They have a plow. All right. Well, that sucks, but we did make them use a lot of cards there. All right, so we've already shuffled. Cards are fine. What do we want to hide from Thoughtseize? I think at this point, the card to hide from Thoughtseize is Guide. Look like that. Now the second one resolves. Solitude fizzles. What did they exile the Solitude? They exiled a Witch Enchanter. So we're definitely putting this back, and we'll shuffle next turn. Okay. I should have hid something from Thoughtseize here. That was a misplay. Okay, and now they may have Thoughtseize. But if they have Bowmasters, I've already used all my brainstorms. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this. Now I'm going to play another Tamio. Now I'm going to pass. And we have Plow Up. If they try to do end-step Felia shenanigans, we will not countenance that. And you may be asking, why not play Giver of Runes first? I would love to play it, but I want to keep up, optionality in the form of Plow. They bin a land. Okay. Caracas is not good for us. But it's basically like we've got kind of like a virtual... let's see if they give us a draw here. No. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, Path to Exile. I don't have to use my shuffle now. Let's go get our island. Comes in tapped. And we get to draw. All right. So I go to combat. They just bounce her. And then I'll just play this stuff out. And I'll replay her. So they have to... You're giving me a trigger? Why? Why give me a trigger? You can just bounce that. All right. I guess they really want to resolve Felia here. I do worry about Bowmaster. I'm just going to play this out. And then I can do Clue Crack later if they don't give me a reason. They may be thinking like, I'll do it in the end step. That is totally fine. I do think I'm going to go ahead and crack the clue now while they don't have Brainstorm up. Okay. I don't know that I'm ahead, but I feel ahead. What is this? Recruiter's pretty brutal. They can go get, a broad range of things. Bowmaster's probably being the most scary since I have this Ocelot Pride that I want to stick. Felia. Yeah. I have lots of plows for her. But, so I need to play this out and I need to get them to, I'm going to play at the land. I know I can hold it for Brainstorm, but I want to have lots of mana up. So I'm going to play her out. Play this out. Now I'm going to pass. I think they're most likely just going to bounce her back to hand in step. I could rip like a Brainstorm here. I might need both plows. I don't want to get bowmastered. It would be devastating. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I mean, they have Felia in hand, but they can't attack with her. All right. Your move. Okay. So Felia comes down, and we just have to plow her, and we have to try to get them to activate this on Tomio. That's annoying, too. Also, note that they have 5 mana, so Yorion inbound. No attacks. All right. That's a bad rip. I'm going to play it out. I do have one more land to fetch with it, and yeah, just in case I need the mana. I that may seem weird. I'm also kind of like making decisions quickly because I am worried about time here. Okay, and now I think it makes sense. Oh, we've gained life. We don't need to attack. I think we just take it slow. We're going to get 2 of these things in the end step. Yeah, I'm going to keep my protection creature up. So what was the thing that they got? Phantom Blade? So how much does this cost? Up to 1 target creature. This is pro. So I just give pro black. Yeah. Okay. So let's get ready to. I'm going to set the end step here. And if they don't tap Karakas, like the second they tap Karakas, I'm going to make my move. Felia comes in. That's fine. Do I get my cats? Okay, I do. I gain my life. I'm going to be hitting you hard next turn. The second they tap the Karakas, I'm going to fire this off. But if they don't do it, I'm not going to. They don't! So in beginning combat, when they attempt to attack, I can plow, and they'll have to Karakas it back. Also, I'm probably going to get 2 clues next turn. So here is a moment where it's interesting because if I plow this, they have to activate, and then I can choose... And then I can definitely kill Felia. But I am going to lose my cat, most likely. If they don't activate for some reason, they are activating. Okay, so this is going to come in. They get to target something. I think I can just plow when they attempt to equip this. And I'm not sure. I think it still triggers, unfortunately. Wait, they destroyed this? I didn't even see that was being targeted. Okay, that's super annoying. So now we're going to lose something to this as well. Yeah, I'm sorry, my excellent friends. Yeah, I punted. I'm pretty sure they go after the cat here. Yeah, because I could have definitely... Like, I didn't use the pro at all. And I could have given this pro white, but they would have killed something else. I mean, it's not like the outcome would have been dramatically different, but it would have been different. Okay, so here, I think the correct thing to do is just bounce this back to hand. So they have to redeploy it, and they don't get it off Yorion. I don't have anything to do with it. Like, maybe I just play this out, and I get more energy. It's tough. I think I play it out. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to smash. They can equip this. No, it's just when it enters, but they can blink it. I just need to kill them before Yorion comes down. Also, I've got 5 minutes on my clock. This matchup always takes tons of clock. Okay, we get an energy, we gain a life. We're doing fine in the life department. All right, let's go. Let's go. Yes, I can hardcast that. Okay, so I think I'm just going to go to combat. We're going to go boom, boom, boom. We'll give this flight. We'll hold these 2 back. Okay. Yes, I'm going to use the energy. Do it on that. All right. Take some damage over there. We do get an extra clue. No, wait, we don't. I'll just chill because I've got hardcast force up. And then they don't play anything that I want to force, which is, unlikely. Yeah, I'll force that. Yeah, that would have flickered any number of scary things. Okay, they get a surveil. That's our last card. Now we just have to beat them before Yorion comes down. They don't have good attacks. Okay, I'm going to waste them off this Karakas. It stops their loop. They're going to bounce this. I'll just replay it. That actually is very helpful because now we can do more damage. I'm going to draw. Well, we don't have to worry about Bowmasters. They take 9. Oh, yeah. F6. I'm just going to F6 through their turn. There's nothing to be done here. Can you beat me? Any creature off the top and you are so totally dead. What a freaking match. Do they have Solitude? What are they doing? I think they probably have Solitude. Force is the rip. Okay, so I'm just going to come in the air. What a freaking game. We've beaten the full smorgasbord of decks here. Blue, what a rip. Blue, thank goodness for having tons of mana. Bitey bye, good game. Oh, they didn't even see the Force. I could have just pretended, but I actually did have the Force. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm going to take a break after that. We're going back into the trophy round. I'm so glad I captured that. I love just demonstrating the versatility of this deck. All right, you can only put off the trophy round for so long. Let's do it. Final round. We're up against a likely Storm Gamer. I think this Daze is good enough to keep. They may not be on Storm, but I'm going to keep this. I don't think Daze is going to save us, but I don't want to mull into Oblivion and then have them be on like some fair deck. I think we just go ahead and get the Pride out. Yeah, I'm going to be active. Closing the game quickly. A lot of times they do take a few turns to set up. So I didn't show the first 3 rounds. They were all against combo. So everybody's playing combo today. We had one fair matchup. Be gentle, please. Ancient Tomb. Pedal. Okay, Daisy is looking pretty bad here as our protection. But if they wheel us, oh my goodness, are they on freaking Karn? Or is this just the epic gamble? Defense grid. That's not fair. Nor is it fun. Well, I have to hope that wasting them does something next turn because I don't think they're going to go here, are they? Oh, they are. Okay, we're dead. Wait, like they could fizzle. It's unlikely. They have tons of mana. I'm just going to F6 here because this may inform like what they do. They know I'm on blue. Okay, so they're using a lot of mana to wheel us here. Okay, we could double guide here and kill them very quickly if they taper out, but it doesn't look like they're stopping. Gamble again, so we're going to wheel again. But every time we wheel, they use more of their resources unless they have like a bunch of LEDs in hand. Okay, there's an LED. Eventually they will run out of echoes. I think what they did was they gambled for that. Epic Gamble is a very fast but not deterministic deck. It's not like you're playing like Oops All Spells or something where you definitely win if you do something. Okay, so they're doing a giant galvanic relay. I don't think we're going to win this turn. I don't think there's any harm in showing them the combo that we have. Let's take a look at what they exiled. They could have bricked. Looks like, oh, this Spider Punk. This is essentially Spider Punk, which gives unblockability. They have Burgie. They have Burning Wish. I mean, there's no way we're winning. They are definitely winning next turn. I think I'm just going to scoop and save time and sanity. All right, and I'm not going to show them any more on my deck. They could probably presume that we are playing, Forces. We're playing Hydroblasts, playing Consigns, and we're playing Prismatic Ending. Okay, so these Ocelot Prides come out. These Giver Runes come out. I'm not going to take a land out. Sometimes I do that. The problem is, oh yeah, Plow comes out. Okay, that's exactly it. And then we just ignore Spider Punk. We can end him or we can bounce him, but we need to have a ton of blue. There's no amount of blue that's too much when you're up against a deck like this, by the way. I almost forgot these. I'm glad I waited. So we do need to make 2 more cuts. I like keeping these in just because they put our life total higher and they reduce their options for winning. And they do smash. And we want to have something we can copy. I don't want to be like copying my opponent's Spider Punk. That's not going to be super strong. I could cut a land. I think that's fine. I could cut one of these. We're like really very into don't have win con, but I'm like Null Rod's practically a win con. All right, let's try this. I can definitely understand people are like, you're overboarding. You put your like entire board in there. I mean, this hand is insane. We just have to hope they don't have like a even more insane turn 1. But they are Glass Cannon. They're not playing Force. We didn't see green. Like, I don't even know how they defend themselves. I think they just use defense grid. So we force the defense grid, then we stick Null Rod, and then we hope to draw something, and then we just play up Brazen Borrower and beat them to death with that. Over the course of several turns while they languish. That's almost always how these games end. Unless they end with, many Echo Vions and me dying. They mulled to 5. This is the easy one where we're on the play. We can't win this one. We're definitely not going to win the game 3 because there won't be a game 3. And they can mull very aggressively because they rebuild their entire hand. They probably have... Please gamble. I want you to gamble so bad. Just yeet your hand. Okay. It looks like they're going to go for something here. So we force Spider-Punk, and then we daze whatever comes afterward. You have 1 card left. Okay, so we're going to definitely stop you. Galvanic Relay. This is like the one thing I can't stop. Do I want to daze a copy? No. I'll just let these all go. They're not going to have a lot of mana next turn. They did put the Spider-Punk under here. Again, I know it's confusing. MTGO, like, they couldn't get the rights to Spider-Man. Notoriously held by Sony. And the reason why there were so many mediocre Spider-Man movies that came out. I'm going to fetch before because I definitely don't want to draw more land for the rest of the game if I can avoid it. I just want to... It's like a fetch the thin, but it doesn't even matter. Like, we drew a land anyway. Yeah, well, we're going to do what we do. Like, let's take a look at what's in exile. Yeah, like, I don't think they're going to be able to do anything here. They can play City of Traders and Burning Wish, which I can actually... No, I can't daze that. Yeah, I mean, they could Burning Wish, and then I'll just stop whatever they Burning Wish for. And a lot of times my opponents just scoop. But we do have the 3rd land to play at the Brazen Borrower, so we will start beating them down. It's just going to be a slow beat down. Okay. I mean, they can still play these out. They probably Burning Wish for... what's it called? Another Galvanic Relay. My instinct is just Force here. I know that like it leaves us vulnerable. They have 1 card in hand. But if it is Galvanic Relay, they have 1 Storm, 2 Storm. Just 2? Is that right? So maybe... And they don't have the mana to use it. Yeah, I'm going to let this resolve. Call me crazy. Now they know I have interaction. Like, I wouldn't have waited that long. Shattering Spree. They can replicate this. Replicate is red, so they need red mana. This is all gone. Okay. Okay, so I think our hand is fine. I just probably want to play this out. Like, let's take a look at Shattering Spree. I think the replicate is red. Yeah, so they need more red mana, which they don't have. So we could, in theory, like counter both copy. No, we could probably only counter 1. If I find Consign, it's just over. But like, every turn we give them to draw is a turn they get closer to victory. So it may make sense to just go ahead and start playing out Brazen Borrower. I'm just going to chill. I'm going to see if they rip a red source. I can counter a Rite of Flame. Like, force on Rite of Flame, that'd be pretty pathetic, but I think that's probably correct. Okay. And this is a sorcery, so we're free to go ahead and deploy this. Start hitting him. The all-important clock. Don't leave home without it. Okay, Consign. I'm just going to leave my mana up and chill. I don't want to deal with this. But how do I want to stop it? I think this is... I mean, technically we can still force. We just keep up mana for the rest of the game. I don't like that. Yeah, I think I'm going to force, pitch, daze. But then we can't stop the actual right. I think I just consign here. Yeah, I'm going to consign and I will replicate it. And you may be thinking, that's crazy. Like, that stops their combo. We're not going to have a hand. This won't be in our hand when they're going off. Yeah, let's replicate for 1. Same targets. Okay, and you got us to blow our protection from your Shattering Spree. That's pretty good. Main thing to remember is just because they get rid of this doesn't mean they instantly win. Like, they do still have to have stuff to do. Get greedy and do it now. Do the spree. All right. I think we won. But there's still many attacks between us and victory. Let's brainstorm. I want to get rid of stuff. If I find a Wasteland, I want to waste this probably just to reduce their resources further. And I want to point out my opponent's name is not Squid of Doom, it's Squid O Doom. Oh, these are good. All right, so we're definitely putting this back. I don't think Mockingbird helps our cause. I'd rather just have selection. Mockingbird for 3, just to have a second Brazen Borrow doesn't seem like a strong play. I will attack. I think it's worth keeping the mana up, even though we don't technically. Let's see, what could they do? Maybe it is worth just going ahead and pondering now while we have, and we can set up draws for next few turns. I think these are fine. These are blue cards. I don't want to shuffle and then draw a land. So I'm going to keep these. Mockingbird, the least important. And I'll take the Brainstorm, which we can use for emergency purposes. But like, let's pray that that doesn't come about, because that'll be really weird if we get into a situation where we need to do that. Spider-Punk would be a force. Okay. Like, the cool thing is their deck does have this awesome Spider-Punk creature. Like, it makes it so much better. I'm going to attack and hold up 3 forces. I think that's a winning line. They're going to have to do a lot to overpower 3 forces. They're going to have to find another Shattering Spree, which I don't think is in their deck. I think it's in one of in their sideboard. Rite of Flame. Okay. Go nuts. The One Ring. How about we not do that? Yeah, not a fan of this card. I would say this is my least favorite card in the format. Okay, they scooped to that. All right. Hard mode. I like our deck configuration. There's no more blue that we can bring in. We're on the draw. I think it makes even more sense to have the island out now. A Craft Digger's Cage does shut down them doing graveyard shenanigans. I don't know that it's worth bringing in. But like, if you think about it, like, it stops them from doing things. Like, I feel like it's probably a one of. And then we cut one of these. Like, I mean, I could probably just cut all of these and just win like we did last game through like either Brazen Borrower going crazy or Tamio. What does it look like if we do that? Because if we get even a turn, Cage is insane. Yeah, I'm going to be full sicko mode. Defense. Let's do it. You're going to be a Glass Cannon turn 1 deck. I'm going to punish that. No whammies. This is sick. Sick hand. All right. Please don't kill me. Please don't just do something insane. I mean, this is like everything. Like, I don't need the second Cage, but like, I will play it out. Oh my goodness, this hand. We can waste if they try to go on to a Urza Saga plan, because that is like the main way they win if they don't kill you through other means. If they Spider-Punk first, it is pretty annoying. Spider-Punk's a clock too. You can't neglect the fact that it hits for 3 every turn. It's a really good card. I would say it's by far the best card in the Spider-Man set. And thematically, it's just interesting because, like, Riot? Like, what is that? But it makes sense that a punk would have Riot as its ability. All right. They are keeping 7. I am keeping 7. Be gentle, please. I really want my trophy. It's not my trophy yet. I want a trophy. Yeah. I think it's a mistake to go after that. They're going for it. Oh, man. They're going for it. Rite of Flame. Sure. Mox. Oh my goodness. Is this the Glass Cannon hand? Like, maybe they're like, hey, they kept 7. Please don't have the thing. They didn't imprint. That's bad news. The Echo. Okay, well, I think we win. That was super consequential. I am still going to play this Craft Digger's Cage. Yeah, okay, I'll save the shuffle for later. They could get like pulverized from the sideboard later. I mean, we do have to still win. Pedal. Now we play the Null Rod, and hopefully they just scoop and we don't have to play a protracted game, because I don't... Oh, there's a Wing Con. Wing Con. Identify. And I'm going to play this out intentionally because I want them to scoop. I don't want to have to play this out because now I have an answer to Saga. They need to draw like back-to-back Sagas. I don't actually know if they play Saga. I imagine they do. Trophy! Okay, loaded. I can stop saying that. Okay, check this out, man. 11 chests, okay, and 150 play points. So you're going to notice something. I'm on my actual non-DB account, and I get to keep that stuff. I get to keep these juicy chests. Sorry for any connotations that may have. Okay, so let's take these. Let's throw them into my binder. I'm going to show you how it works. And I have lots of tickets, as you can see. I have lots of play points too. Oh, yeah. Let's add all our tickets here. Check this out. Like, I am going to buy my kids some pizza for dinner. We're going to go get a pizza dinner to celebrate. Look at these chests. Okay, so if you're unfamiliar with MTG, I'm going to give you a lesson in how the trading works. And by the way, nothing I'm doing here is violating the terms of service or anything like that. I want to be very clear. Like this, you are allowed to like sell the tickets and stuff. But you have to, it's kind of like a pachinko parlor. You have to exchange the chests for tickets, and then you go and you sell the tickets. It's kind of like you buy the random crap at the pachinko parlor, and then you go around the street where they're buying the crap that you got as your prize in the pachinko parlor. So what we can do is we can come in here, and they got these chests, and they are going to offer us 20 tickets, which is they're giving us 1.66, which is 0.4 lower than it was yesterday, which is a bummer. That's not the best exchange rate. You can shop around for exchange rates, but the market's pretty efficient if you're like into economics and stuff. I'm just going to take these while I can. I mean, they could drop. They fluctuate usually between like 1.6 and 1.8. I think I've seen them as low as like 1.5. So I'm going to go ahead and just be loss averse and take my tickets. And of course, Eventide comes up when I type event because there's a set that starts with these exact letters. Yeah. And so I just grab the 20 tickets here. Yeah. And if anybody wants to buy tickets off me, I will sell them at below market rate. Market rate is like one ticket, $1 US per ticket. Okay. So we buy these tickets. Boom. Now we go over here. Confirm trade. Yes. I narrate everything with enthusiasm. Okay. Now let's go back over here and we can see that I now have add to open binder. 129 tickets. Yeah. So this is the equivalent of like, you sell them at like 0.9 or something like that. So it's the equivalent of like $110 or so. And now we can go over here. We can take a look at this glorious deck that I've been having so much fun playing. And you know what? I want to play another league. I trophied, but I don't want to just give you 2 rounds of Legacy. I want to give you 7. So I'm going to go to this Chinese thing and practice my conversational Chinese here in Dallas, Texas. And then I am going to, it's just like we all meet at a cafe and we all speak Chinese. And they're Chinese people, but they're also people from like Taiwan, from Singapore, people from other countries that are learning. Like there's a dude from Mexico who's a software engineer who's learning it. It's pretty chill. So if you're in Dallas, check out the Chinese meetup. And like I love learning Chinese and Japanese, but let's go ahead and get back to the list, shall we? And not dither too much. Okay, so dither, dally. Okay, so the list again. And by the way, I have my matchups. So round 1 was Echo of Eon's Fleshraker list, very chill glass cannony deck. Round 2 was straight up Reanimator, it wasn't blue black Reanimator. Round 3 was the Epic Storm, which Tamio just freaking destroyed them, basically. Just the card advantage, and I flipped Tamio and I ultimated her, I think, in both the games I won. And I think all these games went to 3, except for 1. So, like, these are tough games. You get no free wins against Combo. Epic gamble. Thanks again, Tony Scapone, for creating an interesting combo deck. And Slops to... I would like to respond for creating a boring, if you want to call it control deck, in the 12-post deck. But I do want to credit the creators. And again, I want to credit Punishing Waterfalls. Huge inspiration of mine. He brewed kind of the OG version. It was 3-colored, had Psychic Frog. It had 62 cards. It was ugly. He didn't know about the super secret tech that is Mockingbird at that time. He didn't realize that you needed to play 4 Brazen Borrowers, so you didn't just lose to Tamio. And I will tell you that, like, I played a league right before this, and I went 3-2 because I lost to Grixis Control twice in a row. James Kisao beat me, and also one of James Kisao's students. And the way they beat me was with Planeswalkers. So these Brazen Borrowers are extremely important. You need to be able to balance the Tamio out of play. In one game, I had, I'm not exaggerating, like 20 cats on the table, and they had a single flip Tamio. And that won them the game. Unfortunately, I just couldn't find a Brazen Borrower or a Prismatic Ending. It was post-board, and I always bring these in against Tamio. I think this is the most powerful use of this. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the next rounds as soon as I get back, but it's going to be seamless for you. You're just going to be teleported into the next round or the next league, and we're going to try to keep tearing it up, keep slaughtering combo, and keep making lots and lots of cats. Round 1 of the second league, we are up against Mahfouz Van Gogh, who always plays dredge, basically. I've never seen him play something other than dredge. This hand just doesn't stop dredge, sadly. I think we need a mulligan to a force. These plows are basically dead draws. This is even worse. I mean, we could mock and we could hope cats get there, but like there's no way they're going to get there if it takes them even more than a turn or two to set up. But I think rather than trying to mull for a force and then having no hand, I am going to keep this. I think we're just going to lose, frankly, unless his deck completely fails. He kept 7. Yeah, well, I will put back that shock land. So I do have days if he tries to do something on my turn, but he'll probably do it at the beginning. Like he'll probably do the glimpse card LED. So he just had the nuts. And even if you force the LED, yeah, he had 2 things. Unfortunately, Dredge is such a weird deck that it just has like a 90+% game 1 win rate. I don't know if it's 90, but it's very high. Okay, that's a great draw actually. Because that turns our Mockingbird into something that can do something. So I'm just going to go ahead and play this out. And then I will pass. They have therapy. They're probably... The moment they have a creature, we're going to get therapied. They don't have the recursion thing. Or the land. Okay, so this does get the Poxwalker back. Which unfortunately does let them therapy us. So I'm going to counter this. We don't need more than 1 land anyway. We're just going to try to put out the... And this does have first strike, so it wins in combat against the Poxwalkers. But I think they're probably just going to go ahead and therapy us now. And I'm going to let them name force. If that's what they want to do. They might name... I don't know what else they would name. They're therapying themselves. Okay. So they're putting Grave Troll into the yard. They get their dude back. All right. So their hand, FYI, is not like seriously good. They have another therapy in there. They have Thassa's Oracle and they have a Stinkweed Imp, which is another dredger. We don't have any way to target cards in the graveyard. Blue card would be the best draw here. That doesn't do anything. If I plow this, does it help us? I don't think so. I think I just Mockingbird and just hope that we get there by some miracle. I think it's extremely unlikely, but I do want to go wide. They don't have the ability to grant trample to their creatures, although they can grant haste. And now we have a flying Onslaught Pride, so we can always proc. We're going to get 2 cats. So they're going to dredge. And then if they LED into something, yeah. So they can bridge from below and create some dudes. If they attack in, I could just block. I don't think they'll attack in though, because then I can get rid of their bridge. And they're disincentivized from blocking these. They could double block. If they double block, I might be able to blow them out. Because I could just plow one. I think we just keep smushing with everything. And when they double block, I will just plow one of them. They could triple block one. Okay, they are denying me life gain. Okay, they are getting rid of their bridge here. That's fine. I think this is a bad block. Because they're getting rid of their bridge. Granted, these 2 will die first due to first strike, so they will get 2 dudes. But then the bridge is gone, and they won't get dudes later. I think that's an even worse block. Because now I get the life gain. I was going to plow one of my own dudes just to get it. Okay, so there's the dude. And these die. Okay, and they get bridge from below trigger. They stack it to where they get their dude before it gets exiled. I don't think it actually changes whether they get a dude. Okay, so now that's exiled. Now I'm going to play another one out. And I can plow if I need to. I get a bunch of dudes. I still think we're going to lose. Satoru's in the yard. They can flash him back with these 3 if they find a dread return. Let's see. So currently they have Grave Troll. They have lots of dredgers. But I don't see a win con. Like a way to just go crazy. And they're dredging instead of drawing. Thassa's Oracle's fine. Okay. Oh, man. It's possible we go so wide. Like, their Thassa's Oracle's already out. So they have to therapy me, and then... Oh, if I plow this, they can't win through the Thassa's Oracle win. Because what they could do is they could, like, get rid of her. Yeah, I think I just wait. I'm definitely getting City's Blessing here. I could just attack with the 1 in the air and then go extremely wide. Every turn I give them is dangerous, though. I'm not going to fetch because if I find a Brainstorm, it's really good. Okay, Ponder could find Brainstorm. A Guide of Souls to gain a ton of life and put victory out of reach for them. I have to shuffle away this force, but it's not that big of a deal. I don't think forcing things is going to be a big deal here. Let's go ahead and fetch. I'm going to get another Tundra. I'm going to play this out in case I need to plow something. Like, I'm tempted to just plow this to take that win con off the table. Then they have to win through combat damage, which is going to be extremely difficult. Yeah, I might as well just stay back and ensure I don't die. Because I'm going to be able to Alpha Strike them with like... Well, no, I'm not going to be... Well, I probably will be able to Alpha Strike them. I'm going to gain a ton of life here, though. Their win con is off the table. Like, they have to beat me through just tons of zombies. And I'm not sure that they can. They can't give trample. I'm going to have a ton of life here. All these always. Okay, so we're going to go up to... We only gain 1 per cat, but we gain a lot of cats. 36 life. Good luck. I think we can beat them. Okay, so they found another Poxwalkers. They scooped. What? Game 1 win against Dredge. Apparently, just going extremely wide works. So now we bring in the Grafdigger's Cages. We bring in Force Negation, for sure. I don't think Prismatic Ending comes out. I'm going to take out my Plows. They don't have targeted removal. We could take out Giver Runes. It's possible we get in a situation where, just like the previous game, we need to send Ocelot Pride across. And they have a bunch of blockers just to proc the life gain. That's the only reason I can think to keep her in. I think we just take her out. I mean, we're on the draw too. I could pull this island. I'll do that. I'll pull a land and I'll pull a Giver Runes. They're not going after our lands. I don't want to have too low a density of bodies just in case I need to turbo them with Guide of Souls triggers. This hand is fine. It's not exceptional. Like, it may look exceptional, but it's actually not. But the Tamio is promising because if we can slow him down, we can win. We don't have a way to mull. Yeah, I'm going to keep this and I'm going to hope that Tamio can get there. She's a good card. We have plenty of land. Don't regret taking a land out. That's one less land we risk drawing. Really, our deck, once it has 2 lands out, it just never wants to draw more land. So you always force the first thing they put on the stack. I think we force here pitching Force of Will. They're not going to cast any creatures that we have to stop. And then maybe we hard cast this later. Okay. So apparently that was important. And Bosch and Roll has said many times, and I'm a big fan of I can't. Okay, so I screwed up. Oh, if I didn't occur to me that they could also have this. So I punted. What I needed to do was hold the force. I was like, oh, I'll be able to hardcast this later. And that was greedy. That was absolutely greedy. So like they could totally take off from here. And I could have forced. Granted, I would have nothing but lands, but you know, their deck draws a lot of chaff. Okay, so they have a mountain in their yard. And they kept the other cards, which is not good for us. I think I need to get lucky and cheese here. I feel so dumb for making that play. I need to tighten up. So learn. They pitched a Dread Return. I mean, fine. If you take my Tamio, I'll live. They probably have like 1 Haymaker left and they just want to clear the path for it. Okay, there's Cephalid Coliseum. So if they find another land, they can't really go crazy, but oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to start taking lands out of my deck. I don't know what it is, but like 17 lands in the deck, and these lands are like homing missiles for my hand. Okay, so they have it. I need to find a Wasteland. They're fetching now. If they flashback now, they can activate this next turn. So we had to find a Wasteland now, basically. Find a Wasteland. We shut them off that. Let's see if they find the thing. Oh man, this is totally avoidable. Oh my goodness, I'm kicking myself. They found Faithless Looting and they found a Dredger. Gosh, we almost certainly lost here. If we get lucky and get one of our 3 Grafdigger's Cage, which we don't deserve, I'm just going to concede. Because they've got, well, we'll play it out, but they've got so many things to do here. There's nothing to target here. Like, I probably just have to pitch this Mockingbird to Faithless Looting if they do it, but there's no reason they shouldn't just do this and dredge their faces off. Yeah, the game's functionally over. See, Bridge from Below. They've got a Poxwalkers in there. They've got Shenanigans for my Grafdigger's Cage, which is unfortunate. I'm glad we saw that, but like it doesn't change anything. Like we're still going to jam Cage if we find it. They didn't find a Narcomoeba, but we can't stop Narcomoeba from triggering. I don't think. They can dredge this, and then we have to force it. They've got 2 copies. Okay, so we have to force it twice with Force Negation. We have 1 more Force Negation on our deck. All right, I'm going to keep this up just in case I draw a Brainstorm. Okay, I think we're like totally dead, but I'm going to keep playing. We have, of course, no play. So here they just dredge again. Again, all this, like, the thing about dredge is the dam breaks. Once the dam breaks, the game's over, basically. It just doesn't end immediately. So they mill Faithless Looting, Lines of Dump. Okay, why are they not winning, I guess? What are they waiting for? I think they're waiting for Narcos. So we don't know what's in their hand. Let's see. Let's take a look at Exile. I just don't want to punt this if there is a win. Because, like, every game you play against them is a huge dice roll. And if there's a way that I can win this game, I want to make sure before I concede. They have lots of Cabal there, but again, no Narcomoebas. But there's nothing we can do to stop the Narcomoeba. Okay, I'm just going to take a natural draw. Again, I want to draw a Brainstorm to fix my atrocious hand. Another Mockingbird. It does nothing. I'm not going to play out any lands. I think it'd be a mistake. I'm just going to wait. And maybe they get unlucky again. I mean, they're going to dredge 4 here, I think. They haven't found the big dredgers. They drew a card organically. Interesting. Now we're dead. I feel very confident we're dead. They're going to therapy us. I want to put the land back in. I know that seems awkward considering we drew like 20 lands last game, but I'll take out this. Still a high concentration of blue. This doesn't work. I mean, Guide Us Souls turn 1 does seem promising, and then we have like the Ponders, and we have a Daze for their first play. But for 3 freaking land, of course. And even though we drew these land, we're still like 25% to draw land every draw step. I think we mulligan this and just try to high roll harder. I mean, this is the same problem as the previous hand, except it has 0 interaction. I'm going to mull one more time. Okay, this is the hand. We just have to dodge Shenanigans. Cards that are going back. I really want to stick the Guide Us Souls, but that's not a turn 1 play. The turn 1 play is Grafdigger's Cage. So I'm going to keep the Brainstorms, and I'm going to play the Cage because I don't want them to therapy it out of my hand or something. Like, that would be super greedy not to just play it immediately. If they have Shenanigans, they have Shenanigans. They have to dredge to it. They're unlikely to just get it in their hand. And the combination of lands that they need and all that. So we're going to go ahead and do this. And we're just chilling, but Brainstorm should fix our land-heavy, inevitably land-heavy draws. We can do everything we need with 1 land. This deck can function great on 1 land. There's the LED. I am going to force this. I know that a lot of people might be like, but what if they have Shenanigans? If they have Shenanigans, we stop it for 1 turn with force. It's not the end of the game. Unfortunately, this second Cage, not as strong as just like a threat. I do think I play it out because this represents the second thing that they have to blow up. Yeah. All right. And if they have Shenanigans, it's going to be super sucky. But they didn't see like a Grafdigger's Cage, so they don't know that this is my stack interaction. They could think why wouldn't I have this? This is the most efficient. They could think I might have Containment Priest. Is this shenanigans? Yes. Okay, and now they can just dredge and blow up the other one. It's atrocious situation. All brought to me by my punt last game. Okay, I'm going to waste one of these, and I'm going to hope that that keeps them off shenanigans. And I'm not going to brainstorm yet. I'm going to wait and draw one more card. If they just have land and then they play the shenanigans, it's going to be so tilting. If they don't... Okay, they didn't dredge shenanigans, so that means they don't have a second land. All right, come on, let's find another Wasteland. Ocelot Pride comes down immediately. I will wait a turn cycle before I try to brainstorm. They drew a card. Even if they draw a card, they still have to take a turn to dredge the shenanigans. Okay. Now, they could... yeah, very scary town. So killing shenanigans doesn't do anything anymore. Let me think about this. Is there any merit to brainstorming? This borrower does nothing. So the brainstorm we could wait on the brainstorm, but like if I find a Wasteland, I want to use it. They would discard their hand. They'd need to draw a card and then they get shenanigans. So they can't use this for mana to cast shenanigans. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. And Force of Negation would be great if I can find it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is these cards suck. I'm going to put them back. I'm going to fetch and I'm going to ponder. No, that's not going to get me into a force. Yeah, I'll do that though. I mean, I definitely need to shuffle. Is there any merit to me pondering at all right now? There's nothing I could find that I don't have any zero drops in my deck. I think we do want to ponder and we can like put something on top of our deck. So that way if they therapy, we don't lose it. But we're not going to be able to make a land drop. We're not going to have any land. Oh, I mean, we might be able to go wide before they can kill us like we did game one. Definitely don't want this land. Next turn, we could just jam both of these. I think that's correct. All right, so I'm just going to go in for a hit. And they're going to have to spend like a turn or two getting rid of this. And then from there, if they don't like just drop a ton of creatures, we may be able to win like we did in game one. We will have the combo. Okay, there's Cephalid Coliseum. That's pretty scary. But now that what they're going to have to do is dredge this and hit our stuff. And we're going to have a pretty big board presence. White. Guide of Souls. I hope they don't have like some sort of sweeper card. Because they're probably running into lots of cat style decks. Not necessarily blue-white. I think I'm the only player playing blue-white. Okay, so we're going to gain a lot of life. We're going to get some energy that we can use to gain even more life. We're not going to get the City's Blessing quite yet. Okay, so they did return shenanigans. They dredged the Faithless Looting that they can cast next turn. This is the shenanigans. Okay, now, how many turns do we get before they go crazy? They might LED now. Now they can Faithless Looting, and they can dredge a lot, like 10. They didn't hit any Narcos. That's super lucky. We're not in the clear. We are going to go crazy, though. I'll play this out. I'm going to go to attack. I will go ahead and buff this one. Just gain some extra life. All right, so let's go ahead and just pass. I think we get a lot of cats here. Okay, and we get some energy. Okay, and we get the City's Blessing. And yeah, that's a lot of cats. That's a lot of life. 32 life. They have to do a lot here. And they missed on Narcos, which is unlikely. They played 3 Narcos, but they need a Narco to be able to therapy us, to be able to start the chain. Okay. They may be able to just win and win with the recurring the thing if they can get deep enough into their deck. Okay, so they got some Narco triggers. They're down to 19 cards in deck. I guess I could just F6 here. Yeah, I don't think there's any merit to, pretending I have interaction. I have literally nothing in my hand. I do have lots of energy. They're like super duper dead next turn if they can't win. This is scary though. Okay, there's Poxwalkers. So they could get like anger in their graveyard. Let's see. They don't have anger currently. So none of these have haste. There's 7 life. I'm pretty sure we can win if they can't win with Thassa this turn. Like they're going extremely wide, but we can hit them I think we have enough cast that we can hit them for 1 in addition. No, maybe not. Yeah, they may be able to survive a turn cycle, and if they can survive a turn cycle, they probably just win. Because they can do the Thassa's Oracle trick. Wow, yeah, they have so many zombies. We're going to gain a ton of life, but it's not going to matter if they can just dredge the rest of their deck. I don't actually know that they can, though. It may take 2 turn cycles to get, what's it called, online. I don't see Sawataru, what is his name, in there. Mockingbird. Okay, Mockingbird works. I think we win now. This is a great draw. So we just copy guide, and then we can get flight. Oh no, they have flying blockers. All right. So they have 1, 2, 12, and we have way less than 12. Okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to attack. If they lose this, I mean, they will get a bunch of zombies for this, but I think we're going to get enough life. My opponent said token decks, right? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and attack. Attack here. I'm going to attack here. I will attack. They're not going to be able. Well, yeah. If I buff this to 3/4, they're not going to be able to do that. We're going to have so many creatures. They can't produce more creatures. But we're going to produce a ton more creatures. Okay, so then we're going to target this and this. I believe this targets whenever you attack. Yeah. So this should trigger. I'll pay the energy, and I'm just going to keep all the other creatures out of them an abundance of caution. Oh, they could triple block here. They could triple. No, wait, never mind. I've got 2 triggers. Sorry. This one as well. And now they get a bunch of zombies, but I think I'm going to gain so much life that it'll be okay. And they have 13 cards in their deck, so I don't believe they can clear their entire pile. They may be able to dredge. Oh yeah, if they Golgari Grave Troll, like if they Golgari Grave Troll reveal Sawataru, then they can dread return Sawataru. That will trigger, and then they can clear their pile completely, I think. So I think we're going to lose, unfortunately. There's their army, which would normally be incredibly intimidating. All right, and now we go crazy with life gain, yield to all. Yield to all. I think this is like, we're going to be like a lot of life. Like 50 something plus life, and we've got a ton of blockers. They have to win through Thassa's Oracle now. So they dredge. They don't have Dread Return in their yard, so they need Dread Return and Sawataru from this dredge to win, I think. Did they get it? There's the Dread Return. I don't see Sawataru. I don't think they can win. Because we have flyers and they don't. They can attack for 40, but we've got plenty of blockers. GG's! We beat Dredge! Oh my goodness. This deck is terrifying to play against. Look at this board presence. It's matched only by our own. Right, we're up against Respect the Cat, who's a very skilled modern player, but I don't know what they're playing in Legacy. I'm going to mulligan this non-functional hand. We're on the draw, which is a bummer. This is a keep. This is kind of a high-risk keep. I'm going to put one of the Brainstorms back because I would like to, go crazy with cats, especially against Respect the Cat. I bet you they respect the cat. Flood of Strand strategy. We didn't draw a land, so I'm going to be a baby and just ponder here. I don't want to get wasted out of the game. That would be embarrassing when I have all these cantrips in my hand. Also, we're on the draw, so we could very well be the control deck here. I'm going to any order shuffle this. This totally telegraphs to my opponent that I'm on one land, but it needs to happen. I think it'd be a huge mistake to keep this because it locks us off white completely and we'll have to draw a white card. I know Tamio is great and all, but yeah. Let's any order shuffle this. I intentionally wait a long time in those situations. Okay, this is good. Because we've got Days and we've got Wasteland. But we still need a white source. And I don't have planes in my deck. And you might be like, why not? Believe me. It's not a decision I came to lightly to not play planes. Okay, so most likely we're up against just Nadu. That's the most likely deck that plays Meticulous Archive, rather. So I couldn't daze there. If they go for the quick brainstorm, I can interact. All right, so I do think it's worth just trying to find a plains. If they force here, I'll be sad. Okay, wow, we're screwed. I mean, we do have a Tamio by Meticulous Archive. If you want to, yeah, they didn't do what I wanted them to do, which is cast something into daze. Okay, so they do have basic planes there. Yeah, and they're going to stack up clues for a few turns. Our deck is just not cooperating. I will play this out, and then I'll just play my own Tamio. There's a high likelihood this just gets plowed, which I'm going to let happen. I'm more worried about their Tamio than I am about my own. Okay, that's fine. We are very much the control deck here. I will block this. I don't think there's anything wrong that can happen, but... Oh, they had it. Freaking heck. I think we have to let them do this, and then we borrower with force backup just to get it out of play. It sucks. If they find a Wasteland, it's catastrophic because they could waste my waste, and then I don't have borrower mana. I know I'm drawing a dud. And Daze's on their side of the table become very good, but I suspect maybe they're on Jeskai. Oh, they do have the Wasteland. What a freaking catastrophe. Yes, you got my freaking Tamio, and there's nothing I can do about this. The good news is they don't seem to be wasting me. Okay. So I will bounce this out of play. It's already netted them like 3 cards. Okay, that's fine. I will use this mana. Bounce her out of play. You have to replay her, and then you'll generate a ton of card advantage again. And they force, and I will daze now. So at least we got a 2-for-1 there, but it's a 2-for-1 that is paid for by these clues. Okay, I'm just going to concede. Screw this. What the hell? What the hell? My deck just totally screwed me there, and we're never going to get rid of her. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like Hashtag ban Tamio. I don't want to play with her. The only reason she's in my deck, again, is because I tried to make this deck work so many times, and I couldn't make it work until I added Tamio to my deck. Like, it just wouldn't work. You're like unilaterally disarming yourself if you don't play Tamio in any deck that has an island in it, frankly. And I would argue that you're unilaterally disarming yourself to an extent if you play fewer than 4. She's just a fundamentally broken Magic card. Like, she's not quite as broken as like Ragavan. Ragavan's like very obviously broken, and very obviously was just an R&D mistake. Or certainly if you think about Legacy, I guess he's still legal in some formats. But Tamio is just like it. You have to actually stop and think about it for a while and see it in action. And it took people a while to like wake up to how broken she is. But I think we just saw why she's incredibly broken. So we don't know a whole lot about what they're doing over there. I like to bring in PE. I think I'm going to cut Dazes. They're playing a lot of basics. But maybe Daze is how we turbo them. I suspect they're just playing like Jeskai. But why would they be playing Wasteland and Jeskai? I don't think they're playing Nadu because they may be on like some sort of Esper control pile. I haven't seen anybody else doing just straight blue-white with Wastelands. I can't think of any deck that does that other than maybe Stifle Knot, which might be what they're on. I'm worried to make too many changes. Like, if they're on Stifle Knot, Prismatic Ending is an all-star here. These plows may be very bad, though. With the amount of basics in their deck, it might make sense to drop a Daze, but I don't want to drop a Wasteland. I think I'm going to just split the difference and take out 1 Force and 1 Daze. No, that even makes sense. I feel like I'm being a total coward. I'm going to keep the Dazes in on the play. I'll trim a Force. This is going to be a card advantage matchup for sure. I mean, this hand doesn't do anything. Maybe that's okay. It has a Daze. I'm going to keep it. I'm just going to Tundra here, and then I have a backup land, but I'll Ponder, and then I can potentially get a perfect Brainstorm next turn if I need it. Again, without really knowing what my opponent's on, like they're on some sort of rogue deck, it's very scary. Like, I don't know which of these cards I want. I want a threat. So I think I'm just going to any order shuffle this. There we go. So next turn I can play that and mock it. And I have Daze to protect if they plow, but I don't have Force if they have a Daze of their own or a Force of their own. If they have if they just open Wasteland, that could work because I did just, yeah, okay, this is great. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and Pride and immediately copy it. They could absolutely have sweepers in their deck, unfortunately. Yeah, Prismatic Vista. I don't think Wasteland's going to get a lot of purchase in this matchup, unfortunately. That's probably a bad draw. I'm not going to attempt to do a perfect brainstorm or anything. I'm just going to jam. I'm going to get on the table. And I'm going to try to kill them before their sweepers come online. If I draw a Wasteland, it basically gives us an extra turn before their sweepers come online. Unfortunately, we don't get a trigger this turn. So we don't get our cat army quite yet. Guided Souls is way better. And I hope to find it. That is unfortunate. I can't interact with that. Ponder. Okay. I'm not going to Daze of Ponder here. I want to Daze something bigger. This is going to be a very slow beatdown, though. I may just go ahead and brainstorm with the hope of finding a Wasteland for this. Okay, now we can get a perfect brainstorm. I'm going to do that before I combat. I should have played this out, though. Okay, that was a punt. Not playing it out, but it's not going to be consequential. Man, so many freaking lands. What the hell, deck? All right, I'll just attack. I mean, they're playing Wasteland. They could be playing Stifle. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle now because like drawing those cards would be catastrophic. They could be playing Back to Basics. I could respect that. I don't think they are. Well, the cost is low. So we get a dude. I'm not feeling good. They have 7 cards in their grip. Like a single plow and like our offensive does nothing. Tamio I can't do anything about. She does not stymie our development though, because this will still deal damage. But the moment she flips, it is devastating. Drawn Wild. Of course, it's just a freaking land. My goodness, my deck. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be a whiny little baby about it, but it's so annoying that I'm drawing so many lands. What am I supposed to say? It's just an intrinsic part of the game. Yeah, I don't really care about getting an extra damage. I'm not going to use Brazen Borrower at this point. Let's see what they're doing here. This might be like Snapcaster. It may just be a plow, which would be super annoying because then we have literally no offensive. We have a single cat. Oh, well, I think this is just a date. If they force here, I will be very happy because I have a plow too, and then we'll win. Okay, Force Negation, pitching Narset. Okay, so they're on like a Dirtle deck. Yeah, I think we let her resolve, and then I can just plow her. But I would like to plow the Tamio. But she is going to be a problem for me later. Oh my goodness. I think I just hope that they try to aggressively flip her. That does take a turn off my cat army growth. But I think that's better. Why are they playing Wasteland in a Dirtle deck? That doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's just the meta is so toxic with all these other decks that they have to. Please flip her so I can borrow her. But I need to let them have a clue, unfortunately. And as long as they keep producing clues, like I could have bounced her last turn, but that doesn't change the fact, like it would have gained us 1 clue. Or saved us from 1 clue. Every little card matters in Legacy, which is why like I would, forgive somebody who isn't familiar with Legacy with like, what's the big deal? They have to pay 2 mana to get a card every turn. Like it snowballs very quickly. Okay, so here they come in and we'll see if they flip her. They have 3 cards left in hand. The card they pitched with force again was, okay, Quantum Riddler. They have 2 cards in hand. This is not going to trigger Tamio flip yet. If they have like Ephemerate, that'd be scary. So this is going to trigger her now, but not if I just bounce her, which is what. So I'll bounce her and then they'll only get 1 card. But this is going to come back later. I'm so glad I didn't go up against this in my previous trophy thing because this is like a horrible matchup for us. Like basically they're just doing the same thing we're doing, but they have like these very powerful standalone creatures, whereas our creatures are synergistic and easily broken up by removal. And now that goes off, and now you get 1 card, so it replaced itself. No Tamio flip for you. You did get a clue, so it's not like you have anything to cry about over there. Brainstorm, set me free. My goodness. Give me something other than land. All right, this is great. So I will take that land. I think we have to hold on to the borrower, sadly. Is Guide even good here? We stick Guide. I mean, it's the first part of the winning equation. We've got double Brazen Borrower. I think that's probably better than Ponder. The alternative is we just use Ponder to shuffle. I think that's better. I don't need any more land. Any order to shuffle these lands away, please. My goodness. Oh, of course we got a land. Okay, well, at least it's a land that does something here. I am going to play this out, and then I'll just waste them off this land. Keep them a little bit farther away from just destroying me with that giant Riddler thing. All right, so Tamio comes back. They have a Wasteland. It doesn't matter at this point. I would like them to waste me because it keeps them further from Riddler. And they clue. That's fine. I think I'd probably just bounce her back to hand for tempo. Oh my goodness, another land. If we bounce her back, then we do have the problem of her just coming back down and us being in this. I think the play here is go ahead and play this out. And I'm going to do that now. This way, if they attack, they have to flip her immediately, or else she dies in combat. We're doing damage so slowly. Yeah, and just to put it, we pondered and saw 3 lands, and then we shuffled, and then we drew 2 lands. This is like extremely bad variance. I promise. I'm trying to keep it together and not complain about like variance, but it's driving me crazy. I think we're probably in like a 5% likelihood territory or something like that. Like that's how bad our variance has been in this game in terms of just drawing excessive lands. They have another one. Okay, so she's going to flip and you're going to get 2 cards? That's what you're telling me? Okay. Well, I'm going to block her. They can just flip her that way? Yeah, of course. Of course. There's always a way to flip Tamio. Okay. And they're actually pretty close to just hardcasting this dude next turn. They've got 2 of them. So we have to kill them very quickly. Another land! I'm going crazy. I am going crazy here. What the hell? I mean, there's a good chance they just have the freaking... technically, we can play them out, too. I guess that's where we are. Yeah, I think I bounce this and I just play it out. And then we get ready, brace ourselves for the freaking... Yeah, and this might be a bad play. Go ahead and do this. I guess technically if they forced, then I just wasted a shuffle. They didn't. Okay, I'll just shock this out. I'm just going to play it out. Blue. Play this. And if they have like a board wipe thing, like the game's over. But the game's already kind of over. Like I would forgive a casual viewer. Like, what do you mean? You've got a great board presence. Do they have a land? If they have a land, then we have... yep, they had it. So our offensive is done. They're going to get a bunch of cards. They have 6 cards in hand now. We might draw a plow. We do have them in. Unfortunately, we drew the wrong removal spell. I'm done. I can't play this anymore. I'm sorry. Like, there's no hope here. You might think there's hope. There's not hope. They're going to just... They have another one in warp. They've got a Tamio. Yeah, it sucks. And just a quick note about the previous round. I have played a lot of decks like what Respect the Cat was on, and they just get destroyed by combo. So it's just bad luck that we got matched up against a kind of a straight up control deck. This hand is good. They play like just straight up Reanimator in historically, and they play a lot of Vintage. They're probably going to try to turn one us. I'm going to keep this solid hand that has the combo in it. If they reanimate, I'll attempt to plow it, and hopefully we can overpower. But I'm not going to mulligan an otherwise perfectly reasonable hand in the blind. So just for context, 5 of the 7 matches we played so far have been like straight up combo, like Dredge, Epic Gamble, stuff like that. We've only played 2 fair decks. And if you take a Respect the Cat style deck and you try... Okay, so we're up against a fair deck. If you try to go into like a combo league with that, you're going to get annihilated. Okay, I'm going to waste them. This is like a speculative like YOLO waste, but we don't need the colorless mana or anything other than this Brazen Borrower. Now we'll play the Pride, and we'll hope that they have stumbled somehow, but Delver never stumbles. If they waste before... Well, they can't cast anything if they waste. Yeah, I'm going to daze this. They probably just daze here. They force. Okay, well, at least we got a 2-for-1, but we're not doing anything. Our hand is great against Delver. We just need to get another land. That's a good draw. I mean, we just have to keep sticking threats. They only have like 5 removal spells in their deck. They just happen to have 2. Wasteland. So we're not casting anything for the rest of the game, probably. What? What a freaking foil to my hand. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. They're down to 2 cards, but like they've completely stopped all the action I've had. Okay, that's a great draw. I'm just going to chill. I do need to get a white source. They played DRC or... I'll just plow it immediately, sight unseen. Because I do think there's a chance of me drawing a white creature. Okay, wow. So that Wasteland didn't matter at all. Not that it would really matter if keep it around. Of course, they had Tamiyo. Oh, beating. This is by far the most powerful card in Legacy against our deck. This is the reason we're playing for these guys. Okay, we cleared it. They're at 1 card. All right, that's nice. Okay, I think we're fine. We're just going to chill. We're the control role. They have to explode. They have tons of mana. Daisies are terrible draws. Yeah, I'll just play it out. I'm not going to play this out yet. I do want to keep it in case... like, it would be embarrassing to get a dazed. Okay, they have a Surveil, which not a lot of Delver decks do. They've been a Wasteland. So I think our lands are safe for now on. Corey. Hey, what's your last card? A land. Okay. I think we just play this out and start beating them. It would suck if they had a Merc, but I do have that covered with the plow. It's going to be hard for them to... Well, it won't necessarily be hard for them to double spell. I saw a lot of people were like playing Preordain. I will play that out. Eventually we'll brainstorm away and it might be relevant. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. So this could absolutely race if they find like cantrip into cantrip. They have a lot of mana over there. They're fetching to thin. Okay. I don't think they drew... Like, they may have drawn a card and they're just waiting to draw a second one. Giver Runes is great. I want to attack first. Giver can't do anything this turn cycle anyway. So she'll come down. She can give Pro Blue to attack through a Merc. Oh, wow. They're getting so unlucky now. They got lucky in the early game with like being able to interact with us, but now they're... I think I want to go ahead and mock first. And we're just going to copy the Borrower. So we have a lethal threat. It looks like they have a Force, which is fine. Now I'll attack them for 4. Okay. Another. All right. So I think they're deterministically... No. They could absolutely just rip. And we got a terrible card. I'll hold that for Brainstorm. Okay. So they're at 1. They can't fetch. They need to get an aerial blocker or they lose. Good. Okay. That was touch and go. And we were on the play there, right? Yeah, so it's going to be harder. Hydroblast comes in. Prismatic Ending. Forces come out completely. And I'll take out a Daze. I think everything else, like we want to have lots of quick low to the ground stuff. I'm feeling good. I think this is a very favorable matchup for us. Because of the life gain, that makes a huge difference. Also, we got lucky that they... Oh, this is a mulligan. We got lucky that they had to force instead of just having a Daze. This is fine. This is great. I'm going to keep this. I don't think we need to Giver. No, I don't think we need this Mockingbird. We don't have forces in our deck. I don't care about the blue card. Giver is pretty mediocre, though. Yeah, this is potentially going to copy one of their minis. I like that better than just having a second Giver. Again, Giver's in the deck because I needed some cheap creatures. She's the best 1-drop that I could find. I exhaustively searched. Yeah, I'm going to attempt to plow this. It's more important to me to get their Tamiyo off the table than it is for... Yeah, and if they just Daze, it's a bummer. Yeah, they do Daze. Okay, so now we're living in Tamiyo's world. We have our own Tamiyo, but like playing my own Tamiyo out is... Okay, there's an island. Did they play island before? Okay. If they flipper, it's pretty scary. Unfortunately, the log doesn't show me whether they grabbed an island or if they... I can't remember if they grabbed an island or a Volk. They may have grabbed the island. Okay, here's... Oh, Preordain. Okay, thank goodness. But this confirms my suspicion that they have preordains in their deck. It's so good with Cutter because you just want to cantrip into cantrip and keep the spells coming. Come on, Plow. Oh, man. I think the simple thing to do is probably just play out the Tamio and pretend we have a... No, I'm just going to double spell here. If I double spell, I do run the risk of turning on days. It's totally unnecessary. I'll play this out, and I'm just going to play with my Tamio. I need something else to mock. Mocking her is a mistake. Because if you accidentally draw a third card, your Mockingbird just instantly dies. Okay, I'm not going to block here. We'll just keep going. They've got Clue. What do they have here? They did find the Brainstorm. I can't do a damn thing about this, maddeningly. If you go to Eternal Weekend, which, as I said, I'm not going, and the main reason is just because I don't want to play against Blue Black Reanimator for like 8 hours straight, and I don't want to spend $2,000, which is how much it would have cost me to travel there. If you can travel there cheaper, by all means, but I don't think it's worth $2,000 to just be facing down Tamio. But if you do, just be ready. Be prepared not to tilt like I'm tilting. Oh, Guide of Souls doesn't do anything. We guide, we copy, and then we give her. I think we have to do something proactive like that. I'm going to go ahead and attack and just see if that prompts like a bolt. No. I think there's a very good chance they have a daze here. But like we just don't win if we don't move. So I'm going to play this out. I'm going to guide here. I'm going to Mockingbird. If I wait until next turn to play this out, I still get the energy. Oh, it looks like we got motion. They're going to bolt it in response. What a freaking annoyance. Yeah, I mean, like, that's a legal play. And now we're dead, most likely. I'm not going to copy anything. I don't want to. This does nothing against Tamio. It's basically GG. It's so frustrating that this one drop just completely invalidates our plan, but we built our deck around being able to beat this. And I have beaten this a lot of times. It's just not fun to beat it. They could regrow a bolt, which would actually be a huge relief. If they want to clear my Tommy. But they should just keep going north. My deck presents no real threat to them. They have 2 clues they can crack to draw a potential force. I think the biggest mistake they can make is trying to play out aggro cards here. They already had the win on the table. And it costs 1 blue mana. Imagine that if there were a card that cost 1 mana and it just said, you win the game. This is probably the closest we've printed to that since Ragavan. And it should say, you win the game, but only if you're on the play, because we have to introduce additional variants, of course. Okay, so let's go ahead and just draw. Okay, I mean, it's not a dead draw. I do need to go to combat. I'm just going to see if they have the bolt or the blast. Okay, so we get the trigger. That's great. All right, I'm going to start with this ponder here. I should have fetched first. Oh, there's the borrower we need and a daze, but I don't think the daze is going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'll just shuffle away the daze and I'll take this. I think there's a high likelihood they have a force in their hand, but I have to do something here. They have double island in their deck, notably. I'm going to do this during their turn. They're partially tapped out. If they have force negation, they're going to untap and they'll be able to hardcast it anyway. I don't think they bring in force negation against my creature deck. There's the pyro. Yep, that's how it works. So I've not shuffled. I guess I can just go ahead and play out this guide. A giver. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like if they daze here, it's probably fine. I don't care. I need my mana next turn to crack clues, so I can, hope to draw into one of my remaining prismatic endings, which I have 2, and I also have, and prismatic ending is even better because it doesn't die to pyroblast. All right, DRC is fine. Amazingly, they still don't have delirium. Double blue, giant merc. So we get rid of this and then we just die to the merc, unfortunately. We do have a lot of answers in our deck. Like if we flip Tamio, we can just plow it, which not pretty. Okay. So it has to be like, we're not going to kill her through combat through all. It has to be an interact. I'm going to go ahead and just go to combat first because I do want to get my attack in at least in case this game goes longer. And if they have a blast as the last card, it is pretty tilting, but I think this game is lost anyway. I'll just go ahead and brainstorm now. Like I know they're going to block. So Okay. Unfortunately, we didn't find what we need. So copying, none of this stuff matters. So we're going to make our land drop here. I will plus here. I'll make my land drop and then shuffle. We have one more Tundra on the deck, I believe. And now we're going to draw exactly Prismatic Ending or Brazen Borrower. We can still find a Prismatic Ending. I'm going to attempt it. All right, and I didn't change anything in the sideboarding. I probably could have. Okay, so my instinct is we guide and they don't do anything that we can pride immediately. I think that's more powerful than sticking Tamio. I don't think they're going to waste. The alternative is, of course, just grab Island and Tamio. But that's, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be brave. We're on the play. Our opponent kept 7. I don't think they usually start with a Wasteland. We had tons of lands in all the previous matches, so it would be annoying if they decided to waste us now. But they might. But I think I'm proceeding with enough confidence that maybe they think that, I'm not worried about land. But if they do waste here, it's so tilting. Because I don't think it's the correct thing to do. There's Tommy. All right, and we don't have a good target for our Wasteland. I think... Okay, never didn't have it. I think we just guide into Ocelot Pride. And then we'll get a lot of energy. Anyway, the other alternative is we go ahead and plow this. And then we could just stick to Tamio. Or we can stick the second guide, I think is fine. Because it's redundant. If they have a daze. And if they daze, they're like really set back. Okay, good. So we can attack for 1. I think we're going to bully them this game. We'll see. They have not a lot going on over there. We have a lot going on our side. Like our hand is juicy. And another Tamio. If they like just suddenly flip Tamio, it's so catastrophic. Okay, good. I'm always thinking like worst case scenarios, but like those usually don't materialize. Some life advice, don't worry, be happy. From the great Bobby McFarlane himself. Not to be confused with the great Todd McFarlane. Okay, that's fine. They didn't break up our combo. Okay, I like that. Go ahead and waste this now so they don't get to daze anything. All right, that procs. I'm going to go ahead and play her. You have a daze? You want a daze to nothing? All right. And now we attack, and I feel like we're very, very favored in this game. Yep, and we're hitting them for 3 now. And next turn, we can start creating clues. We'll get the City's Blessing fairly quickly. We have a Wasteland for the next land, unless it's another basic island. And I will be firing those off. I'll just be doing anything I can do to control them. The best thing they could do would probably be like fetch into Merc, and it'd be a 5/5, and it would stymie my offensive. That'd be a dramatic play, because that would involve them going basically all in on Merc. And I do play Plow in my deck, and they know that. And I also play some number of Brazen Borrowers they don't know is 4, because nobody plays 4. I think I've never seen 4 in a deck other than in my deck. I think there might have been some Blue-Black Reanimator at some point. But it's... When you start seeing like main deck graveyard hate, that's a symptom of the meta being unhealthy. And when you start seeing main deck Pyroblast, that's a symptom of the meta being unhealthy. And when you see main deck 4X Brazen Borrower, you better believe that meta is super unhealthy. And she is the cause. I, like, in my dreams, I toss and turn thinking of, like, they're doing the Merc play that I was talking about. Talking about, like, how amazing this deck would be if they banned her. Like, all the amazing stuff I could put in. And I'm hoping that that happens. Okay, this is pretty spectacular. So, first things first, I want this clue. I want to waste them. Let's waste them. So they can't daze anything. Again, I want to keep them off raid completely. Now I will go to combat here. I'm going to try to brainstorm into a creature. Okay, and now I'm going to brainstorm, and they're going to get to endure what I did last game. This is pretty nutty. Okay, so check this out. We're going to just stack our deck with the very finest of cards. I don't want this brainstorm because I'm going to have a Tamio out, assuming they don't have a daze here. Now, I will plus her. I will play this other Tamio out. She can protect, assuming they don't have a daze here. Okay, and now I get an energy, which means I get a cats, which means... are we City's Blessing now? I think we are. I think we're City's Blessing, so we'll get an extra clue too. This is called going crazy with cats. No? Oh, we're one away. I thought we were going to get there. Yeah, I can't count. Yeah, that's fine. So they're looking for land, I suspect. If they attack, like the crackback is going to be brutal. Yeah, this scoop. We got so lucky there. Oh my goodness. But Delver is a bad matchup for them. We're Delver's worst nightmare, basically. All right, we're up against a likely blue-black tempo player. I'm going to keep this. I think this is pretty strong because we have Tamio and we have lands. Okay, well, we're not up against that deck. I think I'm just going to jam a Wasteland to clear this. Don't want to take chances with it. Wow, we drew another land. It's not good. Okay. One of the common ways that our deck loses is to just opponents having tons of Urza Sagas. It is card advantage. We have lots of ways of dealing. Oh, they're on freaking breakfast. Okay. Well, the good news is breakfast doesn't have a good way to deal with Ocelot Pride. Okay, guide before Pride. They have like potentially prismatic ending and they have plows and stuff, but we have to keep this combo going and we have to hope that they don't have like an uncountable. So unfortunately they can equip this, but fortunately we can attack right through it with Pride. They already have a redundant one. I'm not going to block it. I'll just take the 2 damage. I'm about to gain tons of life anyway. They're stranded on 1 land, which is great for us. Yeah, I'm just going to give them a double dose of degeneracy. No, I can't. I need to hold this force. The Tommy. I'll just attack for 1. I can block, and because of the power of first strike, but I'll have another thing they can block you if I don't want to risk it. I don't think there's any risk. I know their deck very well. If they don't find mana, they struggle. But I need to be ready in case they have like, Tundra into... Oh, they scooped? Nice. All right. Well, in this matchup, Prismatic Ending comes in. I think that's the only change I make. I think Grafdigger's Cage is a trap. They are on breakfast, but it's just... They can totally win around this. Mockingbird, they have literally nothing in their deck worth mocking. It's all just jank creatures and Tamio. But they do have lots of like removal and stuff, so I think Giver might be helpful here because it forces them to use their removal on Giver. I need to keep the Dazes and Wastelands in, even on the draw, just because the weakness of their deck is mana. They're a 3-color deck that also plays Urza Saga, which to me is incredibly greedy, but yeah, this is removal hand. It's got a Daze is our sole interaction. I'm going to keep it. Like, I don't think you do a lot better than this when you mull. We do have the Tamio Brainstorm combo. Yeah, I'll just plow that. Unfortunately, I think that's the right play. We just tap the brakes here. And we have Daze if they try to force. Okay. They're not going to be wasting us. I will waste them off this Tundra in a heartbeat. I definitely don't want them having that. Please fetch. Okay, they had the Brainstorm. Yeah, they're going to get a perfect Brainstorm. That's fine. They Brainstormed, fetched, grabbed an island, and now they're pondering. Daze is going to stop a winning card. That's my prediction. Forces are great rip. Go ahead and clear this first. They Daze my Tamio. It's a bummer, but yeah, I guess I can just Daze back. I do want Tamio on the table. Wait. I think I want to go with Cats. And then next turn I can Tamio and Protector. Yeah, that's the conservative thing to do. Just start building my cat army. If they have a plow, they'll probably use it on this instead of Tamio, which is the much more dangerous card. Okay, they're going to go fetch. And again, I'll let this die. Okay, another cantrip. Desperately trying to find land. If they find it, it's bad. They find... Oh, their Brainstorm locked. All right. Now Tamio takes over the game. Yeah, I'm not going to aggro Brainstorm Flipper. I'm just going to build some clues. Maybe that's too controlling. But they do play Prismatic Ending. But we have an answer to Prismatic Ending. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I am trying to be more aggressive. And like their Brainstorm locked, which means they're basically dead. Unless they have Prismatic Ending. Oh, wow. And we drew... Oh, so good. Okay, so we just waste them off white. You can go back. No, actually, I don't even want to draw this because I'm on the Tamio train now. So I'll take this strand so I can shuffle it away. Well, plus, so I can't play out the Wasteland this turn, unfortunately. So we just have to stop them from killing her. I think we do force to protect her, and I'll force pitch force because Days will come down next turn. No, wait. They're not brainstorm locked. They played the island last turn. I forgot about that. This is fine. So I'm going to waste this, and I'll let them... Okay. I will just Daze this. Okay, that worked. All right, so I'm going to cut them off this color. They're down to 2 cards over there. Actually, I will draw the card because I do think it's important to cut them off this color. All right, now we have force around Days. If they just have caverns, that's the game. Unfortunately, they're going to get so much value out of it. I don't think Tamio Ultimate will keep up with it. All right, they did have a land, but it's not caverns. And it looks like they're going to go ahead and try to Nadu here. So I'm going to punish that. All right, and I think we win, but they could have a backup Nadu. I don't know what's in their hand. Even if they have backup Nadu, we are going to ultimate unless they find Prismatic Ending, which they could absolutely find here. Okay, so Guide, I knew about that. I didn't want that, but it's probably worth playing out. Just, yeah, if they have Prismatic Ending, they don't have white. They would need white and Prismatic Ending in the next card off the top of their deck to stop us. I'll just play this out. We're drawing wild. Brainstorm gets rid of this excess Tundra. Like, we can end the game very quickly with Tamio Ultimate when we have this out. We just play a bunch of these. Okay, are they going to make a dude? No. Are they going to Pithing Needle? Oh, they could have Pithing Needle. I don't think that makes sense here, but it could be. Oh, Shuko? Okay, well, they win anyway. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, I did my best. I did my freaking best. Let's go ahead and, yeah, man. This card, this deck has so many A's and so many B's. Be ready for it. Okay, update. I don't know what happened. I won. I mean, we had another game to play anyway. Let's try to figure out what happened. They didn't ever say, good luck, have fun back. So I don't know what they were looking for. But they didn't mill their entire deck. So I assume one of their critical cards was stuck in their hand. And they knew I was going to Tamio Ultimate, and they just didn't want to bother waiting. I don't know. All right, we're 3-1 going into the final round. Let's see if we can do this. All right, final round. If you're going to be on the draw, you want to be on the draw with a hand like this. Look at this. Removal, stack interaction, Wasteland. Sorry. Okay, patchwork. Let's think about this. This thing could totally kill us. I'm gonna let it go. I will. Well, how quickly can it kill us? They've got 5 cards in hand. I mean, my instinct is just force this. Because if they have like a bunch of stuff, it takes us 3 turns to pay for the ward. Like if they were just to go mox, you know, and then we're like dead basically before we can never pay for the ward. So that may seem like a very conservative play, but okay. And I think the simple thing to do here is just to waste them and hope that they don't have more mana. No, I'm going to play the Pride. These decks don't have a lot of removal. And then I can just plow whatever they play out, assuming it's another one of these, and attack through. And if it is another one of those, it's a big difference between being, you know, on your turn 0 and on your turn 2. Okay, and this is why I didn't want to waste. All right, I think we attack first and see what happens. I don't think they have like an instant speed thing. I'm going to play this out. My instinct in these situations is to waste them off the tomb, because that represents them doing a lot of stuff. But I think if they have multiple sagas, or if they have multiple tombs, which is worse? Multiple sagas or multiple tombs? Well, multiple tombs is even scarier. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go after it. Multiple sagas are devastating. And I've lost to that so many times where I've been incredibly favored. I'm going to go ahead and come in for a hug just in case they have like some sort of flash 2 colorless creature. I think they do exist. Oh yeah. Now I will just play the second Pride and we're going to go to Cat Town. Okay, wow. Tempoed him on the draw. That was a great hand. No Rod's coming in. Pending probably comes in. They probably play Chalice. Consign is a trap. Don't play it in this deck. All their mana value cards are blue. We didn't see enough of their deck to know that, but I assume that they're on the blue version of 8-cast. It's by far the best. Like playing Mud with like, I don't even know what you would play. It sucks now. Daze probably comes out on the draw. It's just a weak card against them in general. We do have Pro Colorless, and this can give us Pro Blue. I mean, Pro Colorless is so solid because they're a lot of times just putting a lot of power on a single creature, and then to be able to like block that and just brick it with like a guide and a giver combo. I can cut a land. They're not going to come after my land. If I cut a land, I can put a Daze back in. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Our curve is so low. We have like 32 1-drops in our deck. So you might be thinking like, what? Why are you cutting land all the time? You're all the way down to 17 land. You've seen me draw crazy amounts of land on 17. This hand's fine. This is actually a really good hand because we force their first play, and then we have Pride, and then we mock it. And then we have a flying source of life gain. So the scariest thing they could do would be Chalice with a force backup, and then we're basically dead. But we do still have the Brazen Borrower. So we're not even dead in that scenario. Okay. Do you have the force? If you have the force, I will be terrified. Okay. They didn't have the force. I mean, we had the Prismatic Ending too. We just needed to draw a land, but I don't want to be interrupted. I want to get my Pride on. Let's drop it. All right. They're down to 4 cards. They're going to drop to 5. If they just play out a blocker, it's pretty good. But again, we mock. So Emissary, okay. They can create a bunch of flyers. All right. Notably, these flyers cannot block Pride. Okay, they're just bobbling me. Uh-oh. Dismember. They had the Dismember. I don't have interaction. They're taking a lot of damage. They're checking the top card of my deck again. Which, nothing wrong with that. I do it multiple times. There's no point in looking at your own hand you're going to draw. So it doesn't really matter whose top you look at. Okay, so this is an exile. They're going to need red to play it out. That was altogether not like that scary of a turn. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to copy with Mock. I don't want a Prismatic Ending anything. I just want to draw a land so I can borrow one of these. Oh, that's not a terrible draw. So we're just going to chill. And then I'll plow something. I'll take 2 damage. I think Mockingbird is going to be the pitch if we have to force something. Brazen Borrower does a lot against their deck. Okay. I think this is a force because we just don't have a good answer to it. Sadly. Like, we're so far away from being able to stop him. Moxopole, okay. They have red now. They can play the dude. I can just plow him. He comes in. I'm going to plow him now. He will generate a lot of value, like just off random cards throughout the course of the game. Let's brainstorm and find a land, please. Please give me a land. Okay, that's fine. I don't need this Wasteland. I don't think Prismatic Ending is super useful here, so I'm just going to drop the Pride, certainly shuffling away the dead cards. Yeah, like our deck is performing very well in this final round. My goodness, like I've been very happy with that. That brainstorm was great. Like you can absolutely get brainstorm when you're on 17 freaking land. Okay, they're coming at us. Did you draw something that does something here, or did you just draw some chaff? Okay, they may have drawn a reactive spell. I'm going to go ahead and... What could they have? They could have Kappa. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, they would have played it. Probably Metallic Rebuke. Maybe like an unmatched force. I'm going to go ahead and do this. I want the lifelink trigger before the attack if I can find it. Okay. This is totally fine. At this point, call me greedy. I'm going to put this back. I need to shuffle anyway. And I'm just going to play a second guide. Like these guides are pretty powerful. This might be a Dismember just to deny us a mana. But that costs them a lot of life. Yeah. What is this? Oh, Hardcast Force. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think about the fact that they could just force it straight up. But I'm glad I got my Brainstorm Shuffle on there. They're at 10. We are not racing them. We need more action. A lot of good draws off the top of our deck. Like Atomia would be fine. Did we take all the daisies out? I think we did. So we don't have to worry about drawing those. What is this? Oh, this might be Kappa. Yeah, I think it's... So this is going to kill us very quickly, but they don't have the ability to proc it. If we find... Ooh, that's too late. Yeah, I think we die because they just have 2 deterministic hit. I don't want to show them Null Rod. Well, no. Even if... Okay, so let's say hypothetically we play out the Null Rod now. It does shut down a lot of their mana production. It's probably not that big of a surprise that we have it. Now they get to attack. They get to attack for 7. Even if we find the cat, let's see, we gain 2, but we're taking 7. And then, yeah, I don't think cat does it because, yeah, I think I shouldn't have even shown them that. All right, good game. Okay, so we learned a little bit more about their deck. They're like a full tilt aggro deck. Dismember. I think we bring back the Dazes. And I'm going to bring back... Am I going to bring back a land if I'm bringing back this? I think I keep the land out. Then I'm going to cut Prismatic Endings. I know that they have Chalice, but I want to fight Chalice on the stack. Does it make sense to bring in Force of Negation here? I don't think so. Prismatic Ending can technically kill one of those dudes, the Patchwork Automatons. No, it can't. Because you have to pay it on top. Like, you pay 1 white, but then you have to pay the ward. I guess it's still target non-land permanent if its mana value is less than. Yeah, its mana value is 2, and you pay the ward. I'm actually not sure if ward counts toward the mana you're paying for Prismatic Ending. Spent to cast a spell. I think so. I think I just want to turbo them. We're a tempo deck. They're playing kind of a shaky mana base. I could cut a Giver. No, I do want to keep Null Rod. That's my one control deck card that I want to play. I do need to keep Forces in just because they have a lot of haymakers. I think we cut a Giver. So we've cut 1 island and we've cut 1 Giver. So this is a mulligan. It's worth noting that this could be an island and make this hand keepable. But I mean, like, I'm definitely going to have the Null Rod in. But let's say hypothetically I took out... none of these are cards I would consider taking out anyway, so I think we're fine. Like, I don't think that absence of a land screwed us there. And now we've got a great hand. Yeah, this is awesome. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to put back Ponder because our hand is already awesome. And then, yeah, we've got Tomio as like kind of our backup. We have Borrower in case they do something to like Chalice us. Yeah. They're on 6. I'm hoping this Wasteland is able to take out a Saga. That's the scariest card in their deck. Okay, so Guide before Pride. And when I have a Guide Pride hand, I always open with Guide. I don't try to Tomio. Tomio's our backup plan. So Bosch and Roll had this awesome tweet where he said, like, control's not dead. It's just a backup plan in your tempo deck. And I feel like that perfectly encapsulates Tomio. Okay. I'm going to have more cats than you're going to have dudes. That's my prediction. Within a few turn cycles. So this can be used as red to redeploy that. So it's not like but this is a pretty unimpressive hand. I think they might have Force. That's a great rip. I'm going to go ahead and attempt this. Okay. Okay. You're telling me there's a chance. So I'm going to come in for 1. Every damage matters. And I am going to waste them since I have a backup waste. They mulliganed, so decent chance they don't have a lot of land over there. This also decreased their artifact count. So I'm just going to waste them every turn, basically. Okay, they had another one. Thoughtcast, sure. That cost them a pedal, so like 2 cards for 2 cards, essentially. Mox Opal, that is a reliable, reusable source of mana. Okay. We already have everything on the table that we need to resolve. All right. If we waste, then we turn off their ability to do stuff to us. Like their ability to tap this for color mana because they lose Metalcraft. Okay, wow, that worked. All right, so now I'll just play the Tomio. I was going to do that anyway. Would you like to Daze Force interact? No? Okay. So they can't dismember now, and I think we're just going to run away with it. So I am going to go ahead and always... Yes, I want to gain more life against your aggro deck, so I'll do this on this. All right, we'll gain 2 additional life. We're not quite to the City's Blessing, but we might get there in like I mean, we could get there next turn because we're going to get a clue. They are very far behind. Yep, we did it. It's a 4-1. So my record is 3 4-1s, 2 trophies, and then like I have some 3-2s. I think I have like 2, maybe. I can't remember them all, but this deck is just overperformed for me. It's great. I love it. We can see that we got even more chesties here. We got 5 more chests. And I don't have any changes I'd make to this deck. Like, I did see an interesting finish from INF, tempo player, and he was only down to 2 dazes, and he took out some Brazen Borrowers from his blue-black tempo deck. And I'm like, man, is the meta slowing down? It doesn't feel like it's slowing down, like, but he did insane. Like, I think he won the challenge. So, yeah. I think that you don't have to, like, I don't know. I feel like if you're going to go all 1-drop and play like a true Delver deck, you should play 4 days. Again, Giver of Runes, I'm not sold that it's great, but I do think that 4 Brazen Borrower is necessary right now with Tamio. And I hope that this second league that we were able to play showcased just how broken Tamio is. Like, I didn't get any Tamio kills on my side of the table, but we did lose to Tamio, I think, like twice. I'm very happy that this deck can beat such a broad range of decks. We did get a couple fair matchups, or we got 3 fair matchups at the end. Well, no, Breakfast isn't really a fair matchup. It just feels like a fair matchup. Yeah, so that is the list. If you're enjoying this channel, please consider becoming a most excellent friend. That is based off of George Carlin in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He says, "Greetings, my most excellent friends." I love George Carlin, and I love Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. If you couldn't tell that by naming my channel after it. Yeah, you'll get to see all my videos like way before they get published on YouTube, because I've usually got like several weeks banked. And yeah, it supports me. I use those funds to buy pizza for my kids. You know, it's money to basically spend on my kids, frankly. Like, you're supporting my kids. If you have your own kids, please focus on them first. But if you have a little extra money and you want to see my videos early, just know that it is going to my kids and making sure they have plenty of calories and making sure, I mean, I'm not going to panhandle. Like, they'll do fine. I'm a software engineer, but it helps. And the other thing I'll say is, if you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. It's not that big of a deal anymore in the YouTube algorithm. I know a lot about the YouTube algorithm as a software engineer and like the way it's changing, and it doesn't really matter that much if you're not subscribed. But what would be more helpful than subscribing is go tell your friends, hey, there's this crazy dude named Be Excellent from Dallas who loves to play kind of like off meta, but still legacy viable decks, and also plays a lot of no reserve list decks to help other people get into the format. Just tell them like, hey, there's this channel, Be Excellent 80s, and try to get more of your friends watching. Like, if you've got like a local legacy scene, tell them, hey, let's because I think there's some great channels out there. Obviously, Bosch and Roll, whom I've mentioned a few times, Thraven U, but not like they're usually just doing, you know, videos of decks that people have submitted, like give me some money and then I'll publish a video where I do your deck, basically. And I think that's cool. That's great to be able to see your deck, your brew, in the hands of an extremely accomplished player. Those players are much stronger than me, much more accomplished. But I really like just brewing myself, and I have very strong biases. Like, you'll notice there's like 4 of everything, for example, even in my Brainstorm Days deck. Right? Like, or Brainstorm Ponder deck. Like, I like playing 4 of everything. If you look at a lot of my decks, there's just 4 of everything. And it's all about consistency, reducing variance. And it's almost kind of like I approach Legacy like a standard player would approach standard. I don't know. Like, that's my style. I like fast decks that are interactive. I don't like to just jam. Even my kind of more like aggro decks, like the red-white initiative deck, is kind of controlling because it's got like Blood Moon, or it's got Magus of the Moon, it's got Chalice of the Void, things like that. Clarion Conqueror, one of my favorite cards of all time. Yeah, very strong right now. So just look for a lot more of those no reserve list decks, but note that as we gear up for Eternal Weekend, people are going to be playing more and more like try-hard decks like Blue-Black Reanimator, and it's very difficult to win with a no reserve list deck. Like, you are making substantial sacrifices. You're almost always being monochromatic, which means you're limited to like one part of the color pie. Like I love those mono white warp decks, for example, but I don't think they're tournament viable. I think they'll have fluke, challenge performances, stuff like that. But I've tried so many times, and I don't publish all my videos because a lot of them are really frustrating. A lot of them are just like, oh, my white weenie deck ran into Tamio, or my burn deck ran into freaking Tamio. Like I did try burn, and that was the experience. And I know somebody recently, did well in a challenge with. There are going to be aberrations. You've seen my deck over the course of these 2 leagues draw like, 10 lands, and it's an 18 land deck, right? Like variance happens, and you're going to get matchup variance, and it's not just down to player skill. It's not like, oh, I'm just like the worst burn player. Like I don't think burn is a hard deck to play, frankly. And I 0-5'd with it. I just think it's not the time to play burn. So you may see me play fewer of those no reserve list off meta decks, or you may see me like doing less extreme design. I mean, this is basically just blue-white Delver, essentially. This is the Delver of Secrets. This is the DRC. Not as good as DRC, obviously, but it's just like focusing on a different go wide angle as opposed to like a pure card quality angle that Delver does, right? And Mockingbird. I love this card so much. But you might just see me taking decks and porting them. I love blue-black tempo because every single card in the deck is good, frankly, and I don't like to play bad cards. I consider Giver of Runes kind of an air quotes bad card, but again, if anybody has suggestions for 1-drops in white that I could be playing instead of this, and I've tried like Esper Sentinel, I've tried so many different cards in this slot. Sure, like leave a comment. If I end up like saying, wow, that's really profound and that's really useful, I'll give you some play points. I have like these big packs of like 120 play points that Daybreak, which runs MTGO, give me every month as a creator, and I will give you one of those. Also, if you beat me with a non-blue-black reanimator deck, I'll go ahead and extend that to non-Oops All Spells and non-Karnforge. If you beat me with one of those, like with a deck other than those 3 decks, screenshot it, tweet it at me at BXLand80s, or hit me on Blue Sky with it, and then I will give you the play points. I'll give you 120 play points as a reward for beating me. I definitely, I like to be humbled. So humble me. All right. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.